Hello, welcome to Making Monday. We are making cookies today. What we're going to make is just a simple sugar cookie. The recipe was inside of a Christmas card that one of my dear friends gave me, and I tried them and they were amazing, so I thought that it would be really fun to try them with you. They have 3 ingredients. Awesome. You use 1 stick of salted butter plus 2 tablespoons. It's amazing if you get the butter. Of course, you know it has it measured out on the stick, so you can just cut your half. I actually used a little half sticks because I felt like it was just easier than cutting 2 tablespoons off of a big stick. Anyway, and then you have your other half of your little half that you cut your 2 off of for the next batch. Anyway, if any of that made any kind of sense. 1/3 cup of sugar, which I already have, right here, and 1 cup of flour, and that is it. And I used the little half sticks. It has it measured right here, so it makes it really good for cutting for your 2. You preheat your oven to 325. I'm using a dark pan, nonstick pan, so I just am doing it at 300. We're going to mix our ingredients, roll them into balls, put them in there. A small weird life hack that I do, you may or may not want to try. I actually use a pizza pan. You know why? Because it's big. And you can get a lot of cookies on here at one time. They bake up just the same as if you are using a cookie sheet. Only you can just get your batch done at one time. And you don't have to alternate pans or have 2 pans in there. And I just really like it. It just makes life a little bit simpler. So you can try it or not. It's up to you. So the first thing that we're going to do is take our butter and our sugar and cream them together. So I have my trusty mixing pan here. I softened my butter up. Because last time I did this, I did not soften it, and it made it very hard. Don't know if I got it softened enough, so we shall see how it works out. As everything, it's just a big trial to do, and just see what works and what doesn't work. Will work the next time. Okay, so let's get that to the side. Sorry, greasy fingers. Alright, pour the sugar in. And this is what we've got. We'll take our mixer. Mix this up. Mix it till it's creamed together really good. Doesn't take very long, but just get it all together. Take my spatula. My 1 stick didn't get as soft as I would like. Okay, so I have that cream together, so it's nice and soft and mixed very well. And next I'm going to do is take my cup of flour, put that up in there. I'm going to take my spatula and I'm going to mix it around a little bit, stir it up a little bit before I bring the mixer back in. Fold the flour into it and let that moisten up a little bit from the butter so that you don't have a big poof of flour when you start to mix it with your mixer. So we can try that there. And I'm going to go on a low setting. Just kind of get that together, mixed together a little bit more. Now the next thing I'm going to do is get my hands all up in there. Because you want to kind of pack your, it's still a little bit dry and crumbly because we don't have a whole lot of the wet ingredients. So what I just do is go ahead and just get my hands in there, and I'm just kind of packing it together, getting it all nice and in one solid dough form. Alright, now I'm just going to take and we're going to form 1-inch balls or so, thereabouts. And let's form those, and I'm going to set them over here on my ungreased pan, about 2 inches apart. Be good. They're going to be so good. If you're going to add sprinkles, now would be the time to flatten them out with a cup. I'm not going to add sprinkles to this batch. They were really good without. If we decide to decorate at some other point, then we can do that. So I'm just going to keep on forming my balls with the cookie dough here. Put them on the tray. I have a tendency to go a little bit bigger than the 1 inch, so we may end up with large sugar cookies, but I've never heard anybody complain that a cookie is too big. Have you? No. So we'll see how they turn out. Just getting my dough. It's still a little loose. And had some kind of loosening up a little bit there. It's still forming really good. So, you know, we didn't have hardly any wet ingredients, so it's not going to be a big soppy batter, and we really don't want it to be. All right, let's see what we can do. Form these bad boys up. Right, get one more from our ingredients here, I think. One more little baby cookie. Oh, that's alright. He'll taste just as good. All right. Oven is preheated. You preheat to 325. I'm using a dark pan, so I did it to 300. So we'll see how well that turns out. I'm going to go ahead and I've got them spaced out like this. A little haphazard. That's okay. We'll go ahead and pop them in the oven, and then we're going to see what we end up with. Okay, so I baked our cookies for 15 to 17 minutes. Just give or take. You really kind of have to, after about the 15-minute mark, go ahead and start keeping an eye on them as they get a little bit brown around the edges, whatever your done factor is, if you want to pull them out at that time. So that's what I did. And if you wanted to decorate your cookies, you should before when you put them on your pan, go ahead and press them down. You can use a cup. Another shortcut you can do that helps the cup not to stick, or the glass. I've taken a glass and coated it in the sugar or in my sprinkles. Well, you know, your sprinkles, your colored sugar that you're going to use, and press it down, and then that automatically puts your sugar on your cookie and gets it the shape that you want. That works very well when you're making homemade ginger snaps also. So here are our cookies. They're good, and they're brown, and they're crispy, and they're golden, and they are just outstanding. These are old-fashioned sugar cookies. Recap the ingredients is 1 stick of salted butter plus 2 tablespoons, 1/3 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of flour, and that is it. 325 degrees for 15 minutes, or depending upon if you use a dark nonstick pan, you need to adjust your time in your oven accordingly, your temperature in your oven accordingly. So I hope that you enjoyed something a little bit different, making some cookies this time. And like and subscribe, and let's check back next time. If you have any favorite recipes or anything that you'd like us to try, post them in the comments and we'll see what we can do. I'll see how we can come up with some new stuff to create. Anything in life can be something to create. Doesn't have to always be food or crafts or jewelry, just whatever strikes your fancy. So hope that you enjoyed it, and this time of making Monday, making cookies. And I hope that you like and subscribe and come back next week and see what we're going to get into. Thanks.